Now, most people have probably heard of the Sega Genesis. But what if I were to tell you that Sega made a system before the Genesis to compete with the NES? Well, compete in relative terms. It kind of got its ass kicked. Present to you the Sega Master System. So what is this thing? It's a Master System, dummy. This is a pretty neat system. It released in 1986, obviously to compete with the Nintendo Entertainment System. And, well, it ran into its first issue being, oh shit, Nintendo has this monopolistic style of business with third parties, pretty much saying, hey, if you make games for the Nintendo, you can't make games for the competitors. Why would you make a game for the Master System or the 7800 if Nintendo will cut you off and you're no longer making games for the most successful console? So, the Master System didn't really get any third-party support. It also didn't have a fat Italian plumber. One weird thing that came out of the Master System is that it has two types of games. Now, this did carry over from the SG series over from Japan, where it have your cartridges, right? You have your cartridges, but you also have card games, so you put your card in there. Now, for the Master System here in North America anyways, there were only 7 games released for the card system, so I don't know why it exists, but it does. I mean, considering that there's 214 games for the Master System, 7 isn't that little. That's what she said. You get a pretty shitty instructions on the console, not even a sticker. It's literally printed on the console saying how you work it. So you either put a cartridge or a card in, and then you power it on. Oh my god, who would have fucking known? One thing I did notice that was kind of weird when I first got the system is that the power button is down here, away from everything, which, it's kind of weird. And the power indicator light is green. Like most consoles that you play with the power indicator is red. This is probably one of the last consoles ever that put the reset and the pause button on the fucking console. Can we talk about how fucking stupid that is? Say, it's dinner time, right? You gotta pause your fucking, I don't know, Alex Kidd. But you don't want to lose all your progress because games don't save. No, you gotta get up off of your ass and go up to the console and press pause. You know how much easier it is to do that on Nintendo? Press the start button on the controller. Talking about controllers, let's talk about the Master System controller. This is the Sega Master System controller. Finally, a normal looking controller. That's kind of weird. Kind of resembles, I don't know, the Nintendo controller? I don't know, maybe I'm just going crazy though. Sega went with the control pad. Now, this is the Master System's control pad, which means it sucks ass. Oh my fucking god. This control pad alone makes this a garbage controller. This is such a god-awful... Now, what if you don't like that? Well, you can take the middle out and put a little joystick in. What does that do? It don't do shit! You know, positive thing about the controller, though, is these buttons, these are some of the best buttons. It's weird. The worst D-pad ever with the best buttons ever. These buttons are the best controller buttons, in my opinion, that you will ever use. I fucking love these buttons. I could press them all day. Except I go to school, so I can't. Why the fuck is the cord coming out of the side instead of the top? In what universe does this make sense? Trick question. None of them. You could come up with the excuse that, oh, Sega's learning. If they're fucking learning, they would release a new controller halfway through that has a good D-pad. But hey, some of the Master System games work with a Genesis controller. So just play it on the Genesis controller. But you can't truly judge a console until you play the games. So let's play a couple games. Quick note, the games for the Master System come in plastic cases. Oh my god, that is so fucking smart. Shinobi. You're this ninja. Now, this is kind of weird. You're a ninja, right? Except you're going through the city, just like normal. And you're killing guys. I mean, fair enough, they're trying to kill you, but... One thing that I didn't note is that the Master System is actually a lot more powerful than the NES. And it shows in some of the games. Now, unlike Shinobi, this game was actually released on the NES. Double Dragon. Now, this game was actually released on the Atari 7800 and the Atari 2600 too. Now, is this better than the NES version? I don't know. I don't own the NES copy, and I don't really remember playing it. One thing I do remember about it is that this version of the game is a lot harder than the Nintendo one. Yeah. So you go fighting these guys with pink hair. Because you do that. So back in the 80s, you did that. Nowadays, if you punched a person with pink hair, they would call the cops. Ghost House. I know, it's a pretty creative name. But no, you're this little guy, and apparently bats just die when they touch you. What's the biggest complaint about this game? The buttons are backwards! Typically when you think jump, you think 2, right? No, that's your punch button, and 1 is your jump. Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh yeah, that's the Sega Master System. Overall, what do I think of it? It's pretty fucking cool. Do I recommend it? Yeah, they're not too expensive either. Go get a Master System, man. There's some good games on it. Or just get a Nintendo, which has better games. But shut up.